Now, yesterday, the former President Jacob Zuma missed a deadline to file an answering affidavit to an application for a contempt of court charge. Jacob Zuma, of course, has refused to attend the State Capture Commission. He says he wants to appeal the decision by Justice Raymond Zondo not to recuse himself. He believes the Deputy Chief Justice is biased against him. But, of course, we know the Constitutional Court has already ruled that Zuma must appear. So let's discuss the legal ramifications of missing that answering affidavit's deadline now. I'm joined by legal expert Nthabiseng Dubazana from Dubazana Attorneys. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. So are there any implications from missing an opportunity to file answering affidavits?
Well, there is not that much of legal repercussions for Nthabiseng Zuma in this situation. One, he can apply for condemnation, giving reasons as to why he is filing late, if he does eventually file, of course. The other is that it's actually, in any event, it wouldn't matter if he files or he didn't file, because if it was going to be followed by normal court procedure, specifically criminal court procedure, it would be that he would have been charged, he would have appeared in court, and an inquiry would have been held in his failure to appear in court on the day specified. So now we're dealing with a commission instead of a court scenario. So it would have been perhaps a good idea to respond to the affidavit, considering the kinds of sentences that have been put forth as that he should be serving as a result of him failing to appear in the commission. However, the matter is still going to be heard in any event. I think it's the 28th of May or 25th of May, whereby he will still have an opportunity to then proceed with the matter, unless it will be placed on the unopposed roll. So we'll see how that one goes in that situation.
And to be clear, there are two separate processes at play here. One, of course, is that he has, by not appearing at the commission or walking out, he's breached the commission's rules, and there's, of course, a charge for that. The other, of course, is that he's defied the Constitutional Court ruling that he should have appeared for a February sitting. So am I right that the deadline he missed yesterday was related to the Commission, not the Constitutional Court?
It is for the contempt of court, so it is for the Constitutional Court. So remember, the Commission made an application to the court to have Mr. Zuma charged for failure at the commission, right?
Yes.
And this is as a result of the Constitutional Court saying, or rather declaring that Mr. Zuma has to appear before the commission and answer the questions. That was a direct order of court. So he went against a court order. So that is where we are at. That is what the application was specifically for. It wasn't for this failure to appear in the commission. It was for not adhering to a court order.
Now, we always have been told, and we know, that the Constitutional Court is the apex court, it's the highest court in the land. But the former president is saying he doesn't want to appear before Deputy Chief Justice Zondo before he can find out if he can appeal Zondo's decision not to recuse himself. But does the fact that the ConCourt has already ruled that he should appear at the commission, does that override any other possible attempt at an appeal at a lower court?
Not necessarily. When the commission made an application to the court to compel Mr. Zuma to appear before the commission, you must remember part of the things that were placed on the table for discussion did not include the application or the request by Nthabiseng Zuma for the appeal that Nthabiseng Zondo must remove himself from the commission. So that was never dealt with at all at the Constitutional Court. So it is still within the High Court, and the High Court can make a ruling on that. And based on that, he can then go to the Constitutional Court and say, well, Your Worship, the judge, this matter was not tabulated the first time, and as a result, here's the outcome of my appeal. And therefore, I feel that as a result of this outcome, if it's positive for him, of course, then I shouldn't appear in front of the commission as long as Mr. Zondo is the one who's presiding over this matter. So that matter was not dealt with at all in the Constitutional Court.
Right. He's applying for leave to appeal. A lot of legal pundits are saying he's got a very weak case. So when will he hear if he's been given the right to appeal? When are we likely to hear that?
that might take months. We need to hear if there's going to be an application for condemnation, if any. If there's no need for condemnation, after the application is done, it may take a month or two for us to hear what the outcome, whether or not he's been granted leave to appeal that the decision that Zondo should not recuse himself. So we've got about a month or two, I would suspect.
Wow. So
before we get it.
We have got three different processes at play. We've got the fact that he's defied the Constitutional Court order, and we know that the Commission has asked the Constitutional Court to impose a 2-year sentence if he's found guilty. We've got the fact that he breached the Commission's rules, and of course he's applying for leave to appeal. We also know that he spent a lot of time speaking to the ANC top 6 yesterday, so there's a big political process as well. Where is the next legal move going to come from?
At this stage, it's up in the air. We are waiting. Well, the one day that we do have is a Constitutional Court hearing after him failing to file his papers today. At least we have a date as to when the hearing is for contempt of court. So that one should be the first thing that we're going to hear of. The other two is just a matter of waiting to see where the wind blows. So the first one ought to be the one for failure to appear before the Commission, or rather the contempt of court application.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for clearing through so much legal processes underway in tandem. That was legal expert Nthabiseng Dubazana from Dubazana Attorneys.